Now, so we are just going to focus on the chat GPT. Like just like chat GPT, like Bolt AI is also there, Lovable is there, Cursor is there. So many AI tools are trending nowadays. But like uh, one by one, we will see all the different or the most trending AI tools which normally programmer should be aware of, right? So if I don't know, like if you are aware about Lovable or the Cursor, so they are basically designed just for the programming, just for the development, and we can say project completion. If you provide a project idea, its business model, it can provide you a complete code. Means I'm talking about Lovable and the Cursor. It can complete code from database, API, UI, test case, everything. Lovable is one step ahead also. They will it will help you to host it also on the platform they have created. Just like we host our application on GitHub or that Nativefly, right? But Lovable has their own platform also. They will help you to host on that environment also. From their Lovable only you can purchase a domain and it will help you to link also. So it's very on advanced level. But again, like it's obviously so many things we get. So paid version has everything, and the free version has limited thing. Just with the ChatGPT also we have the same use case. Now, so those models, like if we talk about Lovable or Cursor or any other AI tools, right? So those are generic with considering programming era only. But ChatGPT is not limited just for the programming. It is for universal cause. Either you say medical, either you say professional development, anything it can be. So it's not related to any particular genre, right? So, but the models ChatGPT has are so matured because I have used Cursor also and tried Lovable also, or even that Bolt AI also. Again, Bolt AI is only uh, it has also very limited use scope. If you specify Angular or React, it is Bolt AI only we can use when you need a proper UI. Obviously, we cannot ask everything to get developed by the AI tool. Again, we are going to change. But Bolt AI, the UI are what I have seen the Bolt AI can give. There is no way ChatGPT can give that. Because I said ChatGPT is not focused on a particular era, right? So likewise, different AI models will differ according to the performance. Fine. Now, what things we are going to discuss? Like, let's say we even if I don't know, like most of the companies don't have ChatGPT allowed in their access, but we should start using it. Let's say ChatGPT might come up just like GitHub Copilot also has that standard and everything. ChatGPT also come with some standard license. Then companies might start using ChatGPT also, right? Copilot they are started using it just like that. ChatGPT also can do that. So what we can use like to increase our productivity to optimize the code, this is the most two things we should use our any AI tool, either it is ChatGPT, Copilot, or any AI tool, whatever the AI tool we use in normally programming, this is the two main thing. After that, one more thing can be there. See, to reduce time we waste in writing repeated code, can anyone tell me what this point will denote? What is the unnecessary thing we have to write whenever we are working? What points, what things will come in this point? Anyone? What things will come in this point,
Like same template, uh,
right?
repeat template.
Let's template creation, or let's say interface class creation, correct? Interface or class. Do we have to really waste time in creating interface and class? Yeah, let's say if you have a small object where 5 to 6 fields are there, you will manually create it and manually write it. But let's say around 50 or 15 or 17 or 20, even 30 fields are there in your object. Will you go and create class, all the properties, then in constructor you will initialize those? It's not good to waste in time into that writing, right? Or even let's say your application has some your application or the project is not so much UI oriented, very basic. See, there are so many applications where data is the main thing. They are not focused on the UI, how UI is looking, how you are performing with the UI. They don't care about the UI. What is important is like data. Whatever the data is there, you are able to showcase that data very properly so that user will be, by seeing that page or the UI, he can identify the proper points in that. So data centric application are there. So UI doesn't matter over there. So to create that UI also, let's say you have 40 field in your object. Let's say if we talk about employee object, and in employee object, you got employee basic information, projects are multiple, family details are multiple, skills are multiple, and you want to design a UI just to showcase that. So if you pass the JSON object to the chat GPT, it will help you to create a very proper but user friendly template also. Okay. So that kind of thing you can make use of the AI tool so that it is going to reduce your time. But again, as I said, like not every company will allow ChatGPT so that you can use in your project. But on a personal level, you should start interacting it, because right now they are not including any AI tool in the job description. But you also know we are also mature enough that even though currently they are not doing it, companies, and they are not mentioning use of AI tool in the what do we say, job vacancy, but after some, let's say 6 month or 7 month, or even after a year also, they are going to mention that you should be user friendly by with all the AI tool. In interview process also, they are going to judge like how you are good with using the AI tool. Is it possible? They can test it on that level also, correct or no?
Yes.
Right? Because see, after 1 year, consider before 1 year, there was no chat GPT, no copilot, nothing was there. So people used to manually do everything. But let's say there are so many projects. Just a recent idea, I will tell you. One of my friend companies in Magarpatta, Pune. So they got a project of a hospital. There is a some I don't know which country what it which from which country it was. There was a government hospital, consider. In government hospital, consider in India also. Let's say if we talk about government hospital in India, you might have visited government, specific to government hospital I'm talking. When you visit a government hospital, if you got admitted to any government hospital, you don't have to pay for anything, right? They manage everything. At least in India, we have to pay for, what do we say, medicine. But the country they were, the project they were going to use, if you get admitted to a hospital, okay, from medicine to anything, you don't have to pay anything. Hospital will take care. So there was no, what do we say, integration of payment into that. So they wanted a system which will handle, let's say, patient visited a hospital and he got admitted because of some reason, right? Now, when he is admitted, he is going to need daily, he is going to need some medicine. So previously, what they used to do, a doctor used to prescribe, a family relative used to go to that medicine and get the medicine. Obviously, no need to pay, but a family relative has to go there, that prescription list, and he used to collect the medicine and he used to bring it back. So they wanted to automate this. It was a very simple CRUD application, just role based and everything was there. So a doctor used to, instead of writing it, he used to visit a patient profile. What are the drugs were there in the inventory that used to come in the web application? He should select that quantity, and that order get directly visible to the that what do we say, pharmacy. Okay, and pharmacy used to approve that order from their admin, and they used to deliver. They used to make it ready. Once it is ready, any peon or whatever nurses they have, they used to collect it, and it was happening. There was no intervention of any family member or nothing, because there was no payment ready. It was a very CRUD application only. Okay, so consider like if AI was not there to create this order management system, it would have taken at least 6 months to complete this application, because there were multiple roles. Basic CRUD application was there, 5 to 6 pages were there. One was dashboard for showing all the like how many new orders are there, how many delivered order, everything, right? Doctor login, pharmacy login, only two logins were there. So to complete this whole project, at least 6 to 7 months were needed. But the client, like see, in India, we normally get projects from USA or the higher, like the countries whose what do we say, currency rate is higher. Obviously, they only come to India, right? But I think it was from South Africa or something where the currency rate was not that high. So it is like we cannot, company cannot waste so many days on that particular time of year, because they were not getting that much amount, but they had to complete the project. So what they did, from UI creation to writing API to everything, let's say, consider it. If you don't have AI tool, so they would have needed at least 10 people, including UI plus API plus DB. Sometimes DB person won't need it. API person will be creating the UI. But because of AI tool, they had the paid version of ChatGPT for that company users, so multiple users can use it. They just go ahead with 4 people, one UI, one API, DB person was not there, one tester, and one was a Scrum Master. That's it. So consider, and without AI, that the duration was, let's say, 6 months. And with AI, they completed just in 2 months. Okay. So Scrum Master was directly telling them, use AI to create the UI. Don't write a single code. But company given them a proper prompt engineering training. They have hired a person, because with using AI tool, if you provide a proper prompt, then only your work will be done. Because AI tool will you provide a generalized solution. It can cover everything. So they cannot start the project without proper planning, right? So they hired a GenAI specialist. They provided a training like how you should write the prompt, what history you need to provide. Then only it will be helpful. So around 6 to 7 days, they have just got the training of GenAI, like how to communicate, how to write prompt, right? All those GenAI topics they have prepared. Then they started. So within 2 months, they have completed whole application very properly, and it is running very smooth. Yeah, in the starting, first 2 3 weeks, they struggled because AI was not performing, because they were providing the wrong input and AI was not providing the correct. But once they got used to it, so consider, like, with just 2%, they have completed the work of 6 months. Means they have completed the work of 10 people, and within 2 months also. Because it was a very normal CRUD application. No extra logic or something extraordinary was there. Nothing R&D was there. Getting it? So AI is helpful, but again, if you are starting a new project now, AI can play a very important role. But let's say a project is existing and you are working on it, you can't use AI in that, because debugging AI cannot do it. It needs a human intervention over there. Understood the scenario? Anyone having any
Yes.
doubt? So it is possible, because of AI tool, we can reduce the human work, and with less number of duration also we can complete it. Okay. Now, so how do we increase the productivity? So first example I show you, like, let's open any free project area in employee onboarding, or let's say e-commerce. Okay. So in this e-commerce application, I don't know if you remember or you were there. So this is an actual e-commerce application where we got product, multiple images, multiple attributes, so many things are there. Okay. So if you see, get product, create product API. So if you see in create product, how many things we have? Just the basic product detail. How does consider this with your any e-commerce application? So very few details are there of the product. So this is my product JSON. Okay. Open the new notepad. This is my product JSON. For a particular product, I can have multiple images. So another JSON is there, product images. So here you can see product ID is the foreign key and images will be there. Image ID is my, again, primary key. This is my image. After that, add product property. You might have seen any e-commerce application, when you open the product, properties will change. If it is a mobile, it will RAM. If it is a cloth, means t-shirt, there will be a cloth or something else will be there, right? According to the product attributes are going to change. So that is this key name, property name, and the value. In case of mobile, it will be RAM, what normally camera, megapixel, whatever it is, right? If it is a, let's say, something furniture, it will have some another thing, right? So according to the product, your properties attributes are going to change. So that is the JSON for it. What else we had? Yeah. So you can see, when you have to create a product, these are the product basic detail. Then these are multiple images. and these are multiple properties. Now, let's say you want to create a UI of it, or let's say you want to create a single page where you are going to create a product. Along with that, you are going to pass multiple images and multiple properties. Then your product will look like, correct? So let's say you want to create an interface of it. So what you can do, copy. Let's try asking ChatGPT. So now you need to specify scenario also. If you just provide the JSON, it is not going to do everything. You need to provide the history also, like what are these JSON, right? So you need to explain it properly. Consider this is my, I am, consider I am working on e-commerce admin app, and first JSON is for product. For a product, we can have multiple images and multiple attributes, right? Now you have to say, you have provided the background of the prompt, okay? You are provided the history, like something, like this is the history. Now consider this, and then I need something, right? Now let's say you want the class or interface of it. Now help me to create a class for these objects, where now we need to group it also, because consider a UI where you have the product detail, multiple images and multiple attributes also going to do. So you need a single object where you will pass the single product detail will be single, multiple images and multiple attributes. So you need a mod class like that, where I have a single page in Angular where I am going to create product with multiple images and attributes too. Create a class for this. Let's see what it gets. Okay, so it has, instead of class, it has gone with the interface. Okay, so it has created an interface for product image. It has created interface for product property, then product. And inside product, you can see images and property it has added with multiple. Now consider, like if you don't have that, so you have to manually create everything. These are very small number of properties, but in the actual project, you have so many things. So it is going to waste so much of particular amount of time into just writing. Agree? Understood
Yes,
this?
sir.
So this is like minimum thing we do every day, but we have to see, if you are working on your laptop, it's fine. If you are working on a company laptop and in that company laptop only you have the project, it's fine. But normally when you work on an enterprise application, you work in VM, and VM doesn't work like you work on a computer, work on your own system. When you type, it takes 1 or 2 seconds to get reflected in the VM. So consider all this code you need to write. You are writing, obviously, there is a delay whenever you are working on a VM machine. It's not with that speed, right? So every time there will be a delay of 1 second, 2 seconds. When you type, after 1 second, that will reflect over there in the machine. So consider how much frustration it will generate, because this is just unnecessary thing we are doing, but still we have to wait and that, right? Getting it? So by using it, you are reducing much proportionate amount of time, and remaining time you can actually focus on the actual part, right? Now this is, you have done it. Now let's say you want to see, it has done everything also, right? With the template form, it has considered, like we are going with the template form, it has created our class also. HTML also it has created. As I said, ChatGPT won't provide you a very strong HTML. See, it has very created very basic, because we didn't say also like create the UI, right? But it has provided. Let's say you want the you are not going to use the template form. You want the reactive form. So again, you can ask it. So create a reactive form. Now, if you say just the reactive form, it will provide you the basic form. Again, it might add some validation also. But what you need exactly, you need to be specific, right? What you need the reactive form. But again with reactive form, see over here we have a relation. What kind of relation is there? Single with multiple. So again, form array will come into picture. But without form array also you can manage. But whenever we see reactive form, now it by the look of the object, it will by default go with the form array, right? So create reactive form for this, add some validation, and let's see if it use form array or not. Let's see. See, it has created a reactive form. Again, see that form array. It has created two method, add image and add property. And here you might be creating child array and then you might be pushing it over here. Getting it? Remove method is also there and submit method. Getting it? So this code, if you have to write this code, obviously so much of time we'd need. Again, to think this also, this get method, you won't write this get method at the beginning. Once you start editing and something, then you get to need like we need a get method for this. Then you will write it. But that means, what do we say? The amount, because you are going to write, then when you face an issue, like you need an instance of your images or properties, when you bind it in the HTML, then you will create this. But AI tool is providing you by default because it has also that mind. It also knows that, right, we are going to bind it in the UI. So we are going to need an instance of images and the properties that we are going to iterate in the HTML, right? So what we do after we get to know like this is what we are going to, it is going to provide you the basic code. Right? So see, it has provided the basic form also. Understood? So now let's say it has provided this basic code. Now let's say if we, this is again very generalized, right? Let's say now this product attribute, these are very, let's say here only 10 to 15 fields are there. But let's say around in actual project, in a product can have around 50 or something, right? And you cannot put the 50 or something form over field over here. We have a project, that employee onboarding project, where around, I don't remember, around 70 plus or 80 plus properties are there. So our project, only two pages are there, two, three pages are there. One to create, one to edit, and one to show the list. But our projects is hanging so much because everything is static over here. So much hang whenever we start working on it, it will take so much time to run also. So having this, consider like one around 50 fields are there. Having all those code over here, it takes so much time to process everything. So the ideal solution is, instead of having this over here, consider like you have 50 field in your reactive form. It should come from a JSON and dynamically your form should create. Right? Now, let's say you want to move ahead one more step to that. So you can say, for now, we have limited fields into product object. But in future, we are going to add around, let's say 80 plus field into product. So above solution will work, or should we create a JSON of field and then create dynamic form? So whatever we have in our mind that we are asking it. Let's see what it does. Right? It will be a painful and it's impractical to have all that, because debugging and everything, it's very hard, because we have faced that. If you have more than field nights, let's say adding a validation, removing some validation, it's very painful. So all that thing it is saying, adding a removing field require constant code changes, because if everything is defined in your code, let's say you want to remove field in create method and update method, everywhere you have to remove and everything, right? Maintenance is not an easy thing. Whenever rules and label changes, let's say placeholder change, so many, because UI will also be, because let me show that also, then you will understand. Sagar, what's the name of the project? That employee onboarding? Do we have Sagar? Sagar, what's the name of the project? EMP track. Okay. Guys, you are able to mute,
EMP
unmute,
track,
no?
sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So see, in employee, this is our employee form. See this HTML, how much big our HTML is. Around 7,000 line of code is there. So when we run this project now, it's so hang. In even in .ts also. See, here from started. Again, we have divided that into just form group, but still it is hanging so much. See. So it's not feasible solution to do this. It was very hard, but because again, we tried that, but again, client wanted it quick. So we just had a fix and we are moving ahead with it. Whenever client satisfied, then we will again have to work and move this code into our dynamic thing. So getting into a solution, like it's not an easy thing to manage a big form. So that form, everything should be dynamic so that your .ts and HTML code will be very less. So see, it is providing a solution. You can have a interface like this, key, value type, right? Required option. Then you will create your form field like this, key name, label, type, required is true or not, just like required validation. Then see that much code will be very short like this. You will just create a form group in empty and you will read the data from your JSON and it will create a form like that. And in HTML also very small. Understood? So whenever you are making a decision, because our thinking also has a limit, right? Based on the project you have worked or based on the scenarios we have seen, like that your mind will work. But there might be a new solution to the problem you are going to do, right? Because whatever you will work, see logic development, again here will comes the logic development. How does logic development build? When you work on multiple different project over the multiple time, various scenarios you do. And let's say you are working on a new scenario, new task. If it is similar to something you have worked on previously, then it will come to your mind. That is nothing but your logic, right? It's not logic development is not like that you know all programming concept, you can use it quickly. No, you should have an experience of using those concepts in various problem statement. Then only it will come at that moment. But again, as I said now, what you have worked on that may have a limit. Now, there might be alternate solution to that. So whenever you are deciding and whenever you are creating any task or you have started working on task, try to do the analysis before this, like this. Because when you go with your approach, after some days, consider like if uh, you have completed everything and then some changes are there and then you get to know like whatever the approach we selected, it's not a good one. Then again rework and revamp will be there. So it's not an easy thing. So before getting started, we first do a proper analysis, right? When we work on a company, when we work on agile, yeah, after sprint planning, we get particular amount of time just for the analysis. You can actually, we also follow that. We actually create a task for just the analysis before starting the work. In that we put 2 or 1 or 2 days according to the story, and we do just the analysis for that particular task, like how we can move ahead. We don't directly start building things. We should do properly analysis, and AI tools can come in a handy. You can ask the different approaches also. Then again you can think like according to these approaches, which approach you can select. Getting it? prompt कैसे लिखना है? See, prompt as in whenever you are writing a prompt, there are multiple things when you need to take care. First, you need to provide a history. Okay, history as in here we said, na, I'm working on an e-commerce application. Consider I'm working on an e-commerce admin application, right? When I add an admin word, it will understand you are working on a backend side. Means from this app, you are going to create, update, and delete something, right? So you need to provide a proper history. Then what you need, with what you need, means technology, right? Something extra you need, like here you will say, this is what I'm working, this is the history of it. What you are actually doing, I need the interface or class created for this, whatever the data you pass, and plus history or input also, right? That JSON we provided, that is nothing but input. So some background, what is your input, and using this, what you need, in what way you need, and along with what technology. This is what prompt. Just Google any, or just do the ChatGPT, or even ask the ChatGPT also. What is Gen AI? How to master Gen AI? How to use Gen AI, master prompting. Everything is there. How you are asking me questions, same thing, ask AI tool, right? It will provide you a basic generalized. I might provide you related answer, bilkul. Because see, I know your mindset. Let's say if we talk about any particular person, whatever you are communicating with, I know the how you might know what technology you know, right? So I will provide you the answer according to your perspective. How much answer or how much what word you can understand. I will provide you that. But any AI tool, that AI tool cannot do like that, correct? It can do like that also, but while providing, you have to properly mention, like, I'm having 2+ years. If you specify I have 2+years, its answer will change. If you provide 9+year, its answer will change. It will change or not. Let's say if I ask this same question, and then I ask, like, I'm a fresher, and then this question, I'm having 10+years, then question. So ChatGPT will provide different answer. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir. Based on experience, it will give the answer.
Right? So that is how you communicate with the AI tool. You need to provide a proper history. Who is asking? How much experience you have, like that? Because if you see, one more example, I will tell you. Uh, Throttling, right? Debouncing or throttling in JavaScript. See this. Okay. See, it has created a simple, it's very simple function, but normally we used to get so much elaborated function. Okay. Again, throttling is there. So if you just provide this, it will provide you a very basic code. Okay. Let's say if we considering above thing, I have 10+ year of experience in UI development. Optimize this code as per. So if you say you have 10+ year of experience, you cannot write a very generalized code, correct? See, same thing. It has created something generic and everything. So it changes everything. See, even throttling also, right? So this is how you communicate. Whenever you ask answer in the interview preparation also, right? You can use ChatGPT at a length. See, the prompt I will tell you for, let's say, those who are preparing for interview preparation. Let's say you want to start preparing on the JavaScript. And here you can use the particular chat also, right? Like in WhatsApp also, we use particular person, particular, we got a particular window with particular person, right? Consider like for one particular thing, use the same chat because it will check the history, what is happening above. Let me show you mine one. Something it will be there. Angular mastery tracker. So see, I'm also preparing. So I'm also using the ChatGPT. How do I prepare? Let's see, go to the top. See what I'm saying. Now in this chat, we will go through the Angular topic. I'm preparing for 9+ experience, and this chat I will consider for the nice preparation, right? It will provide you the list of topic as a 9+ year. With every topic I'm preparing after that topic, this topic is done, it will suggest the next. Again, this will done again, because it can keep the track of it also. Okay. So always use a same chat for that same particular, whatever the query you have. Okay. Let's say you are preparing for the interview preparation and you started on JavaScript. Let's say if we talk about someone, let's say let's not use this because it will disturb let's use this one. I have, let's say, 4 years of experience in Angular. Okay, this is my history. Now I am started preparation for interviews. This chat I will use to keep track of topics I am doing. Fine. First, I am starting with JavaScript. Okay. This is the history we have provided. Now you can say like what you need right now. Provide list of JavaScript topics which I should prepare considering interview as a Angular developer. Because when you are preparing JavaScript for React, it is something else, and for Angular, it is something else. JavaScript question will vary now. If you are preparing for React, questions are totally different, and if you are preparing for
Yes.
Angular, questions are totally different. So everything you need to specify. If you specify everything correct, then only it can help you. Okay, let's see. So believe me, like when I started preparing, my knowledge was there, because see, having all these subscriber or all these projects I do, that don't make me expert. Does it make me expert? Tell me. What, let's say I have around 32,000 subscriber or so many project videos I have got 9 years of them. Does that make me expert?
No, your specialty, like
My teaching
your
is only
knowledge
good.
make you.
No, my knowledge is also what do, yeah, uh, it will be little bit extra. If we consider with you, it will be little bit extra. But again, there are so many people who have more experience than me also. What I have is I can explain it properly to the audience so they can relate, they can understand. See, I have seen so many people, those have
Yeah,
so
like
much strong knowledge, but the audience should
yeah,
understand also, na. Let's say if we talk
yeah.
about
I'm also
RxJS,
think.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm also thinking like that. Like like if I consider the interview also a conversation,
right,
which we doing in the English, like
correct.
in the technical, yeah, like term of things.
Let's say
So
your
able
interviewer
to
is
explain.
so technical. Okay, just an example. Let's say he asks you RxJS, he started on RxJS. When we talk about RxJS, we should use the word stream of data, correct? Stream of data. Anyone have used this word while answering any
Yeah, yeah,
RxJS question? That is the right word,
yes,
right?
observable for
Right?
observers.
Yeah, whenever we talk about observable or anything, it's a stream of data. But
Yeah,
let's say your interviewer doesn't know that word. So the answer you are giving is a wrong to him. Correct? So whenever you are
yes,
in the interview, you need to judge your interviewer also. Like what's his knowledge? You will get the idea what's his knowledge is based on the question he's asking. You can get the idea, right?
yeah, whatever. Yeah, he started the interview, then also we get the idea like. how strong he is like in
Right.
technical or
So
something like.
like that, your question should change. Again, like to teaching. If I'm explaining RxJS and if I'm start using stream of data, no one will understand. So I need to break it down in a word or in a manner so that everyone will be able to relate, like what is happening, right? So see, by providing this prompt, it has provided like variable data type, varlet constant, hoisting, scope, right? Array objective. These are the all things we need. So after this, some advanced topics also it has provided event loop. So first you need to complete the basic one, then you can start on the advanced, right? Then array objects are there, DOM manipulation is there, ES6 is there. But let's say at the time you started, now you are starting with first point. Let's say variable and data declaration, this thing. Copy this, put it. Now, whenever you are doing preparation, you don't just read the theoretical, do it everything, every time do it, right? So, that application I'm compiling all the question like that. This is the third kind of application I'm creating. Whenever I prepare, I create a web application, I do the practice, I document it over there. And it will be helpful for everyone also, right? Last time I did it with API integration. This time I'm just hard coding everything. Okay. So let's say this is the topic you are going to start today. So now help me to master this with real time scenarios and interview questions. Okay. So it will help you along with some interview question and what you should know, the scope, right? See, it is providing you the code also, that for loop with var and the let, primitive, non-primitive, what happens with that, right? Common interview questions, some snippets also will provide. Getting it? Now again, you can say, since it is JavaScript, so JavaScript will like tricky snippets, like provide me some tricky snippets also. It will provide you some snippets also. So once you learn the basic thing, by snippets, you can judge your knowledge. See, okay. So this is how you should do your interview preparation also. It will help you properly. Okay. Understood? This is the way I'm also following. And
Yes.
most of the guys, those who are good with AI now, they are using AI so much that we cannot think also. Really, so much of use is there of AI. It's how you are using it and for what you are using it. That will make a difference. Okay. So start interacting with UI. If you are not using it, you will be behind. Start using it. After some days, companies are again test case, right? We cannot learn test case. Even though you learn writing the test case now, there will be so many scenarios which you cannot think of. So Copilot will play an important role in writing test cases. But you need to understand how we ask Copilot to write the test cases. Even with Copilot also, it won't cover everything. You need to specify everything, like what data you are passing and everything. Okay, clear? Any questions? Anyone having any question? Or shall I stop the recording? Then you will ask. Let me stop the recording.